Of his rented Lamborghini. The February 8th altercation starting after Rihanna read a 3-page text message on Chris Brown's telephone, his cell phone, from another woman. Now, according to a search warrant and affidavit in the case, the details of the assault become very clear. Brown eventually stopped the vehicle. He put Rihanna in a headlock, applying so much pressure she was unable to breathe. She reached up, attempting to gouge his eyes out. He bit 2 of her fingers. I mean, this is pretty explicit stuff, folks. He punched her her feet, her legs. Finally, she got the seatbelt off. She escaped the Lamborghini. She's screaming for help as she runs out, according to court documents. Now, because Rihanna is refusing to testify, at least willingly, against Chris Brown, although he is charged with 2 counts of felony assault, we are told, and the betting out here in Los Angeles is clearly that he has or will agree to plead only to a misdemeanor that includes no jail time. Entertainment reporter Shira Lazar joins me. Shira, how are you?
I'm great. I'm happy that you're here in L.A.
Delighted really to be here. But what do you make of this? What do you make of a case that seems so clear-cut and so typical that here she is once again, going down this route of so many other women?
Well, I mean, it's hard to debate what's going on here when the way even you're describing it, it's so intense and visual. There's no question about what's pretty much happened. Basically, TMZ is reporting that his camp is asking for a misdemeanor plea instead of a felony plea. He doesn't even want to go to jail for this, which is pretty amazing to imagine that he's pretty much not taking responsibility for his actions here. Many people are reporting that they are together. They went to Diddy's Island in Miami and they're reconciling. And obviously from, the arraignment, it's going to be delayed until April 6th. But basically she's been given, they're filing a protective order, not a contact order, which basically means that they are probably still seeing each other, which is amazing. And, Oprah said it on Friday, love shouldn't hurt. And this is a message not just for the celebrity world and what's going on with Rihanna, but for many women out there dealing with this.
What I found interesting, though, Shira, is that she has apparently, according to her dad, had no contact with either him, the dad, or the mother. So there is a possibility she is isolated and that Chris Brown really does have her under his sway, in a sense. Well,
a lot of times in these domestic abuse cases, I mean, you're basically under the guy's control, and it's obviously an emotional thing, and going back and forth between, being in the situation and then coming out of it and thinking it's going to be okay and then go back to it. Yeah, but it's obviously her father's coming back and has been gone public about it and saying that you sometimes don't know people the way you think you do. So I think her community is coming together to help her in many ways as well.
Famed criminal defense attorney Arthur Aidala is on board. Former prosecutor Kimberly Guilfoyle, our fabled primetime and crime time panel, joins us from New York. Kimberly, I don't understand how women just don't get it. They don't know that what Oprah says, that's gospel. I mean, not just. I mean, in this particular case, one hit is going to lead to the second hit, to the third, to the fourth, etc.
That's right. It's like the domino effect straight across the board. And this is just a shame, isn't it, Geraldo? You look at the extent of the injuries, the severity, the promise that he had that he was going to kill her. This is really only the beginning, I think, for a lot of sadness between the two of these people, because I don't think that she's going to leave him. I think she'll cooperate to the bare minimum with the prosecutor. She has her own attorney. Her attorney's going over there checking on Chris, her batterer, to make sure that he's okay and how's he doing. I mean, this is unbelievable. It's sending the wrong message. This is a felony, and he should be prosecuted and convicted of a felony. I really hope the DA doesn't give the case away, because with her cooperation or without it, this is a winnable case.
Never happened. Sorry, Kimberly. Never going to happen. Not with Rihanna. Rihanna can just lie.
You can impeach her statement. Look at the affidavit. Geraldo,
yeah, but then you have to declare that the victim is a hostile witness.
But Geraldo, where do we draw the line between what the individual wants and what the state wants for the individual? Look, as amazing as
85% of battered women recant their testimony.
I understand that, Geraldo.
That's a fact of life.
And the point is that as amazing as this may sound, what's going on, it happens. Courtrooms in the United States of America are packed. The domestic violence parts are packed, and this happens all the time. He's going to get treatment.
Let me take a break. We'll continue this on the other side. Much more on this Rihanna syndrome. We'll also speak with a good friend of feisty bachelor reject Melissa. You know what happened in that case. And we'll have the great marijuana legalization debate that's raging here in California right now, right up to this. O.J. Simpson's wife, who returned to the disgraced former NFL star, now a convict, many times after he beat her. You know, and that's the way it happens. And given the brutality of the beating that Chris Brown inflicted on Rihanna, you know, everyone asks, why go back to the man who's probably going to do it again? That's the odds. Joyce Farrar-Rosemon is a psychiatric social worker. She works with battered women in the Atlanta area. Thank you, Joyce, for being with me. Can you explain the I don't know, it's not a psychosis, but the syndrome, I guess?
Thank you for having me, Geraldo. I think part of it is it's really multifaceted. Some of it has to do with upbringing. If you look at Chris Brown from the ages of 7 to 13, his mother was an abused woman. So he actually witnessed that in the home. As far as Rihanna's background, I don't know about hers, but there's so many issues that enter into this case. You also have
how would you counsel her? What if she was your client, so to speak, and here she comes to you and she's beautiful and young, and she says, I love this man, he's beautiful and young, we have our whole world together. What do you say? What do you say? Go leave him, you know, he's only going to beat you again? And she'll say, oh, I know him, he won't.
Well, I think part of the problem is you're looking at the symptoms, and you're not looking underground. I mean, what's going on underneath? If she were to leave him, she would only find another man, and vice versa. He would find someone else to abuse. But the low self-esteem, the poor self-image, even though she's in the lights, still those feelings are somewhere within her. The other thing is that women are taught to be submissive, not only in the U.S. but all over the world. So the pattern is kind of ripe for women to continue this.
I definitely understand that. It is sure quickly built into the system.
But I mean, you have immaturity.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You have immaturity. Both of them are kids.
They are, well, they are, but I don't think it's going to get any better. I'm out of time for this segment, but thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Shira.
Thank you.
Stand by, panel.